What's going on, everybody?
What's happening?
We are the TaKeOver, having the TKO podcast. We welcome everybody out. Tonight is a special night for us. Not only do we have Castleblack Construction, Jonathan and Jared, here with us, the main men involved with all of the construction going on in Memphis, Tennessee, the Mid-South, Dallas, Texas. I'm just calling out places. I don't even know if it's real or not, but we speaking it if it ain't.
That's right. That's right.
But we also have a very special guest that you don't see at the moment.
Not yet. But he will pop into the screen in a minute. I promise. You probably can hear him a little bit.
Oh man, wait, what's going on with y'all tonight, y'all?
Oh man, hey look, I am good, man. You know, business is good, family is good. I am really fortunate to be here with you all. You know, we really do appreciate the opportunity you all give us to partner with you all on your events, and we're really looking forward, man, to keep things going.
Hey, sounds good to me. So that was Jared Logan right there. Yeah. We also have Mr. Jonathan Logan. Did you say that already?
No, because it's always an issue for me to discern who is who.
Oh, really?
But since Jared has on the T-shirt tonight, I know.
That's easy.
Yeah, it's easy to tell us apart, man. We're in a purple tie tonight.
That'll work out. All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in this. We'll be right back again with the podcast. We're going to go ahead and get started. So I already told everybody your names. So how did Castleblack Construction come about, sir? Whichever one of you all want to go first, go ahead and
man,
and speak right into the mic, so we want to make sure you heard.
Wow, man. I'll give you all the short version. Jared and I started the business back in 2005. Back then, we were strictly home builders. We started off as Jonathan Jared Builders Corporation. We underwent some changes in 2008 and 2009. But we stayed, going in 2013 is when the current business was birthed, and we changed the name to Castleblack, and we solely focus on commercial construction. And I say solely focus on because 99% of our work is commercial work. So every now and then we may do something on a house property, but for the most part our work is strictly commercial projects.
Okay. Commercial projects. So your Arby's and your Wendy's and your Krispy Kreme donuts and Service Master. I'm just naming buildings that I think I can recall seeing you guys talk about that you guys have done work for. Am I correct, sir?
Yeah. So I'll give you a little brief list of things that we've actually done. We do stuff for municipality agencies, so your local and state government agencies. We also do stuff for private industries. So as you mentioned, we've done some work for Taco Bell. We've done charter schools. We've done apartments. We've done maintenance facilities and warehouse work. So we're, very, very diverse in the type of work that we actually do. One of the things that we're getting more focus into now is in the federal space. So we do a lot of projects where, since Jonathan has been in the Army, we do have a disabled veteran certification status. So now we're able to bid and win federal projects, and we've actually started looking at some of those federal projects, and that actually have done, I think, 2 federal jobs within the last year. Hey man, what's up? We've done 2 federal construction projects within the last year, and we're looking to expand that abroad. And when I say abroad, really abroad, meaning overseas. Actually, Jonathan is in the process now of looking at stuff in other countries, like some embassy type work, partnering with other companies. So.
Okay.
That sounds good. These guys are really doing some things around these parts.
Yeah, that's a good thing. But I got to know. I know you're twins and you work closely together. How do y'all resolve differences in opinion when it comes to different jobs and everything.
Man, no way. No way.
They were jumping in the mic.
Man, look, seriously though, man, we know a lot of twins. You know, by us being twins, we can, we just know a lot of different twins. And the thing that we get a lot is, a lot of twins say that they can't get along. And
Right.
I never really understood that because Jonathan and I, we get along well. I mean, man, we've had fights and, verbal fights and, we've had some fist fights too. But,
Brother stuff.
Right.
Brother stuff. But, in the long short term of it, man, we work really, really well together. We know how to talk and discuss and solve issues. And I think that's attributed to the success of our business.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just had something that had to be nurtured.
Yeah.
Well, I guess as you grow up together, you kind of know, which buttons to hit and which ones not
Right,
to. So
right.
okay, well, good deal. Then what actually comes up as far as like project management? What are like some of the main challenges? A lot of people might not know. Basically, what some things that you might face on a daily basis when you are trying to secure a job.
Okay, so one of the major issues, this is just with the entire industry as a whole. One of the major issues in construction right now is skilled labor. There's a lot of construction going on. There's a whole lot of it, and this is over the entire country. And a lot of the schools now have taken away like those voc-tech courses where, you teach people how to be a mason or teach them how to be a carpenter. And then, just being real about it, nowadays a lot of kids don't want to do that kind of work.
Right,
Just being real with it. And so there's a shortage of skilled labor. And so it's always tough to find that qualified, skilled person. And when you do find that person, you have to make sure that you hold on to them. And that means, paying them top dollar.
Right.
And that also means, treating that person right and fair because, they can easily go to another company easily. So that's the major challenge in the industry right now is just, holding on and maintaining that skilled labor.
Okay. So I got a question. So what is something that you can do to hold on to that skilled labor? Like when someone grabs a skilled labor person or some skilled labor, how do you hold on to that? I know you said just paying them, compensating them well, but are there any other ways? Like, is there other education that you can provide for them, or are there other things that you can do to hold on to that?
Yeah, so one of the things that we've done, and we've held on to a few good guys, and that is giving them or putting them in a position of more responsibility.
Right.
I think when you not only pay somebody well, but if you also reward them for the things that they do, they're more inclined to show you favor and, and stay there with you.
Right.
And just showing them that you really appreciate what they're doing for, you and themselves, honestly, because we always try to make everybody feel like that they are the company. One thing that Jared and I can't stand, and the people that work for us will tell you this, we can't stand when they come in the office and they say, well, hey, y'all gonna make some money on this job. No, we're gonna make some money.
Right,
No, this is your company just as much as it is mine.
So you include them.
Exactly, right. Exactly, because without good people, there is no Castleblack. You gotta have good people, and that's with any business. One person can't make the business function can't make a business function. It takes a team of people. So we always want to encourage our people to make sure to be inclusive. Again, that's just one thing that we just don't allow them to say because this is their company just like it is ours.
Awesome. Right. So you get buy-in from them.
Exactly.
And they believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
Good,
right.
good. So I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So initially, you were called Logan.
Jonathan Jerry Builders Incorporated.
Okay. Jonathan Jerry Builders Incorporation. And in 2013, you changed to Castleblack.
Yes.
And you know I love me some Game of Thrones. So when I hear Castleblack, I'm like, oh, that's good. So how did that come about?
Well,
Tell that story. All right.
of course, everybody knows when the economic downturn came, there was a lot of construction businesses that went out of business. We didn't per se go out of business, but our previous company suffered, some losses, and we figured that since we were going to move solely out of the housing market and focus on commercial building, we needed to just change the name of the company, start fresh. So we battled with several different names for almost a year, and just watching Game of Thrones, and that name Castleblack came up, and it just came to me.
Right.
It rings. It just rings. It says that you are bold. It says that you are capable. It says that you are willing to take chances and challenges. And then we went through a process where we were trying to figure out, what the logo of the company was going to look like. And, Castleblack sounded strong. It is strong. And we felt like the presence of the lion. I'm sorry. We thought that the presence of the lion meant that we were able to protect and provide and be honest and fair. So that's where it came from.
I like that.
Very good.
So Game of Thrones, are we Team Cersei or
right.
Or are we Daenerys?
Yeah, that's a real question.
I gotta know.
You gotta be careful.
Don't get me wrong. House of Stark is pulling its way up slowly but surely. But
I mean, they all die too, though.
At the drop of a hat.
Everybody died in that show, though.
Yeah.
Oh, well, very good. Very good.
Right. So before we move forward, ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know, this podcast is brought to you in part by Castleblack Construction. If you need anything built, is that correct?
Yeah,
anything?
you can do anything.
Anything. Do y'all build dog houses? I'm just curious. That's just a question.
If it's inexpensive doghouse, yes, call us. We'll get that done for
Climate
you.
control the dog house.
Right.
With like a ramp and like a little door, you can just walk, right on in.
With the elevator.
With the elevator.
I know, right?
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this podcast is brought to you in part by Castleblack Construction. If you need anything built, reach out to Castleblack Construction. That is Jared and Jonathan Logan at www.castleblackconstruction.com. Did I say that right?
No, www.castleblack.inc.com.
That's right. I see. That's why you're here.
Right.
Go ahead. What you about to say?
Well, actually, we do own CastleBlackConstruction.com, but it's going to take you directly to CastleBlackInc.com.
Ah. So you just rerouted. They
Right.
They paid extra for that.
Right.
They paid extra for that. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, let's move. Let's keep on moving. Like you was about to say something, sir.
I'm not gonna say what I want to say. I'm just gonna say,
good.
Tanya and Donald, y'all make me sick. That's all I'm gonna say, and they know why.
Okay. Well, we're gonna keep on moving. Let's see. I had a question. So here's a question. Why the construction business?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Why the construction business?
Well,
Speak to me.
I'll just tell you how we got into it.
Okay.
When we were in college in Jackson State.
Oh yeah, say that one more. Say that again.
When we were in college, Jackson State University.
Cut the tape.
Okay.
Cut the tape.
So Jonathan and I had an opportunity to work for one of the largest minority engineering companies in the country, actually. IMS Engineers. I want to give them a shout out because they actually brought us in. John Calhoun actually mentors us still now today. He's one of my biggest mentors. I can call him any time I want and get some advice from him. But we interned with those guys from our sophomore year all the way through graduation time. And then after we left there, we came back home and worked for a couple architects and engineers. And during that time, the housing market was really, really booming. So while I was at the architect company, all I was doing was drafting, and doing some project management. But at nighttime, I would moonlight and design custom homes for other builders.
Okay.
So in the process of designing homes, I was picking up the actual trade of building. I was learning it just by watching other builders build. Because I would tell you this, it's one thing to know how to design a home or a building. It's another thing to actually know how to put it together. So in that process, I wanted to actually get my contractor's license and start building, because I was like, they're paying me $3,000-$4,000 to design a home. I could build me some houses and sell them and make a much greater profit.
Right.
So we ended up taking the exam in 2005, and we just started off doing renovation jobs. Somebody wanted to finish off a bonus room up above their garage, or they wanted to do an add-on. Or maybe wanted to convert their garage into a living room or something. We did those small jobs, and over time we began to pick up larger projects. And so that's how we got into the business. No, I initially did not go to school to be a builder. A lot of people go to school for things that they don't end up doing. So.
Of course.
Yeah.
So you're the one that does all the designs?
No, I don't do any designing now.
Okay.
Architects and engineers, pretty much do all those projects.
He's the only. He does not have to do this. So
Right.
I'd like to share this with the audience, and this is talking about construction delivery methods.
Okay.
Now, we can deliver a project to a customer in there's three main ways. There's the hard bid, which is the steps are design, bid, build. There is the design build process, and there is the negotiated deal. So on the design, bid, build, that's where the customer will hire a design firm, somebody like a Seth Tucker. They will hire them. They will design the plans, and then they'll put those plans out to a group of contractors, and they'll bid it. And based on the numbers and the skills of the contractor, the owner will select from that pool of bidders. Most of the time, they go with the lowest bid. But I warn the audience, going with the lowest bid is not always the best bid.
Right.
So basically, you get what you pay for.
Exactly. Exactly. I would put emphasis on you get what you pay for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, that's the traditional delivery method, to where a architect and a general contractor can deliver to a customer. The second one is the design build, which was kind of what we were talking about here earlier. That's where the customer will hire pretty much one neck to choke, and that's typically the contractor. They'll hire the contractor, and that contractor will be responsible for the design and the construction.
Okay.
And so that's one contract that the owner has to deal with, versus the first method. The owner will hold a contract with the architect, and he'll hold one with the general contractor. But with the design build, he'll just hold it with that general contractor. And that general contractor, typically, if he doesn't have an architect on staff, he'll consult with the architect and bring them onto the team. But as so far as a contract standpoint, the owner will only be responsible to report to that general contractor, and that general contractor is responsible for the design and the construction. And then the negotiated method is the one that we like to do, where a customer is already familiar with the contractor. They already know how that person builds, and they like their work, and they hire a design team, and they say, hey, look, these are the guys that I want to deal with. I'm going to negotiate my price with them only.
Okay.
So those are the traditional 3 main ways that we can deliver a project to a customer.
And that, what you just said right there, is basically relationship.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So like you got a connection, a network. You've already dealt with the person before. You like what they're doing.
Right.
And that's business.
Right.
That's
Mhm.
business, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, good deal. Good deal.
I like the way that sounds. Sounds like these guys know what they're talking about. It kind of motivates me. You know, last time we had John Corns on here, we're talking about real estate, and now we got Castleblack on here talking about construction. I think I want to get something built.
What you gonna get built?
I don't know, maybe like a shop that I could tent inside of.
See?
Plug.
See?
Yeah,
See?
I like
the
that.
building design.
I like that.
Okay, well, good deal. So,
I think we've been informed. Would you guys? This podcast has been brought to you in part by Castleblack Construction. If you would like to reach out to these guys, they are on Facebook as Castleblack and Castleblack Construction. Or if you would like to reach out to them at www.castleblack.inc.com.
and everybody has now seen Gabe.
They've said
And they are enamored by our newest member. Somebody said the newest member to TaKeOver. So, Gabe, how you doing?
Right.
Hey.
All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to slide right into it. So I'm going to put Gabe down for a second. Do you remember that first question? So, Mike, I want you to explain, and Jared and Jonathan, since you guys are here, you all are included into the discussions and the topics.
Awesome.
So I'm just going to let Mike tell you guys what he did over the weekend. He went on. So first, let me set it up. So he rode the Megabus. A lot of people were laughing and didn't think the Megabus was still around. So Mike took the Megabus to the ATL Charlotte.
To the A.
So Mike, go ahead and give us your Megabus experience, sir. We're gonna jump into.
Well, first let me set it up. All right, so I purchased the car last week, and the car was in Atlanta, and so I was trying to figure out, because I worked a crazy schedule, I was trying to figure out how can I get down there to get this car, and I checked some flights, because I think Atlanta might be 55 minutes by air, something like that. So if that, so I checked some flights, and the flights were, for what I needed to do, I thought that the cost was ridiculous. So for what I needed to do, because I was just going down there and coming right back. So then I had some offers for to catch a ride down there, because there was some big games, Atlanta versus New Orleans, and a lot of people.
That's right.
A lot of people were riding down, but I didn't want to spend the majority of my Sunday on the road going down there and then trying to come back. So, talking to my man Randy late one night, he was like, you know how Randy got that accent. Yo, man, you need to check out the Megabus. And I was like, I never thought of that. And so I checked on the site. Matter of fact, we were on the site together, and bam, there was an 11:45 p.m. Ride to Atlanta for $36.75.
Look at God.
Look at God. So I still had reservations. And I put it out on social media, and I got a lot of positive feedback. There were some bad experiences, but there was a lot of positive feedback. And I couldn't leave early Saturday because I had a meeting to attend. But so I got on there. I got on the Megabus at 11:45. It was it arrived promptly. We got on. I had a wonderful experience. For $36.75, that was with the upgrade. Excuse me.
Double decker bus.
There's
the double Dutch bus.
There's an upgrade.
Yeah. Hold up. Mr. Bougie over here. Yes, there's an upgrade. So like you can sit in the seats downstairs or in the back upstairs for like $29, or at least on that route. Now I didn't check the prices overall. And then if you want to sit up at the front or in some of the seats closer to the front, you got the $5 section. You just upgrade for $5, or you can upgrade for $3. $3.
So for an extra $10, can I drive the bus?
No, you don't want to drive the bus. You don't want to drive. So I got on there. We made a stop in Tupelo. Then we made a stop in Birmingham and picked up some more people. And we arrived on time. And so my word to everybody out there, okay? And so the guy that was sitting beside me was a retired physician. You know, he was like, he's going down there to visit his daughters. So, you know, he was a white Jewish guy, I guess that's what he was.
You said that like all physicians make a whole lot of money.
Well, and you're right. But I think from the perspective of something, because with me, and I don't make a lot of money. All right, let me just put that out there. Don't be, girl, Mike Suggs, he was looking cute, but he broke. but I have to really watch how I spend my dollars. Especially, right. So it's like, okay, for $36.75, the ride was only 7.5 hours. I think if you drive on the way back, I think it was like a 5-hour drive straight. So it wasn't that much more time being spent on the road, and I probably spent more in gas coming back. I know I did coming back to Memphis than I did for that trip. Now, now granted, it was just a one-way ride, but I think had it been round trip, I don't think it would have been no more than about $40-something.
Yeah.
So, and I know there's been a lot of horror stories out there, and you know, obviously when you get people on a bus or something like that, you know, you can have different situations. But I had a great time. So, if you need to get somewhere, and you need to get somewhere inexpensively, is that a word?
I don't know if it is today.
Right.
Inexpensively.
Yeah. Try the megabus. Don't be ashamed to get on the megabus, man.
Hey, that's a good slogan. You may have to charge for that.
I might have to charge for that one. They need to give me free rides because I'm taking the megabus everywhere.
And Megabus, if you're listening, you could be our next sponsor.
Right. Please, somebody connect us with the megabus, man.
So
Megabus man.
Calvin was saying on Facebook, I saw because I stepped out for a minute. Sorry, people, I had to tend to Gabe real quick. But Calvin, one of his Facebook friends, was saying something about a Megabus takeover. We should lock down the Megabus.
Tracy Davis would not let that happen.
I forgot who I was dealing with here.
Yeah. All of us would be down. Tracy Davis would be like, no, we are not doing the Megabus takeover. I can tell you that right now. But it would be a great idea.
I think it'll be fun though. Yeah. We'll have to like charter it and lock it all the way in though.
Yeah.
It's not, and I'm glad you said that because the website was pretty easy to use. You just went on there, you click the seat that you want. You
got the app on your phone too, though.
I'm downloading the app.
People would try to make this a takeover on wheels, and we've been on World Star Hip Hop. I'm just saying.
Man, they took the Megabus, man. But yeah, so it was a great experience for me. And I've talked to some other folks that had some bad experiences.
Yeah.
Oh, there was somebody that did chime in. The lovely Chrysler Louise Key was asking, "What did you bring back?"
I brought back a vehicle. I brought back so you kind of have to know me. I like kind of sporty vehicles, and I kind of get into the ones that have modifications on it. So like my 300ZX, you know, I've been working on it for a few years, and I was leaving Love Southern Heritage Classic weekend, and was just meandering down the expressway, and a guy in a G35 Infiniti kind of pulled up beside me, and we were
kind of
just testing things out to see, testing the gas on the expressway, and I tested the gas a little too hard and blew my motor out in the Z. So while I'm getting that work done, I decided maybe I should get an Infiniti G35. There's already tricked out rims, carbon fiber hood, exhaust.
Was this the same car that caused you to blow your engine up?
It was, and that's part of the reason why I went and got a Jeep.
So technically, you're Kevin Durant.
right. Get beat and then join the team.
Join the team.
Right. Yeah, so it's an 08.
That's a good one.
It's a 2008. It's real nice. I hadn't posted the pics on social media because I'm still taking care of a couple of little things, but it's been dropped. Oh my gosh, it's got 20s on the back. I think 18s on the front. Aftermarket spoiler. It's boo number 3 now. My truck is number 1. Because that's where we make money at.
Okay.
We make money with number 1.
Right.
And 2 is the Z because that's just the order.
Okay.
But 3 is that sweet little thing outside. So
I'm gonna go out there and look at it, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Hand over the keys. Hand over the keys.
So that was the Mega Bus Chronicles or Extravaganza, if you will. If you guys don't know, Mike always is posting some funny stories, and you read a story, it's like reading a book, and there's always a punchline at the end, or it's like a big kapow, like a big kaboom at the end. Like, what in the world did you just say? So that was, I thought that was very interesting, that whole Mega Bus story, because I've always wanted to ride the Mega Bus, but I could never, orchestrate it like I wanted to. Like I would, if I wanted to go to Dallas and see some of my friends, or go to Chicago or something. But I never did get the opportunity. I've yet to have the opportunity to enjoy the internet. I mean, the Wi-Fi on the Mega Bus, and the
Wi-Fi was down.
Oh my! Are you serious?
Here we go.
Oh, wait a minute.
It was down.
That's the whole. That's like what they say.
The truth comes out.
But they had to. They
They'll charge for this.
No, it's free.
It's supposed to.
No charge for the Wi-Fi.
Right. Supposed to be. So now here's the other thing. If you've never been on the Mega Bus, I thought that it was just the plug, like the little thing that you stick in your car. But no, like it's the actual outlet.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to have that. Luckily, I brought mine. So I keep that in mind. It's not the little
Cigarette lighter.
Right.
It ain't a cigarette lighter.
No, don't do that.
120.
But I mean, for the cost and for what I needed to do, now I wouldn't take it to DC, but definitely anywhere 6-7 hours.
I think it'll be worth it, especially if you go that late at night, because you fall asleep, and by the time you wake up, you're there.
You're ready to right. Yep.
So I think by the time I talked back to you, you were headed right back to Memphis.
Yeah. Like, and it didn't take me. Major shout out to my girl Wenda Berry. Wenda met me at the.
She said, "Don't lose your keys."
She know, because I funny story. We'd opened the car up, and then I lost the damn. Oh, excuse me, the dog. TK gonna get on me about that.
Okay,
I lost a little fob. Is that what it's called?
It's called a key fob.
Key fob. I'm not used to that, y'all. I'm used to the keys. So I lost that. But yeah, thanks Wenda for coming and meet me at the MARTA stop and taking me straight to the car, and I just jumped right back on the road and came right on back. So that's my Mega Bus story. You either have to love it or leave it.
I love it. It was a funny story to me. So Gabe is since Gabe is talking, I have a question that I would like to ask you guys. So I'm a little late in the game here when it comes down to child rearing and
Cheering,
child rearing and diaper changing, and it's 2018. So all you guys have children. So I want to know how has parenting changed within the last 10 to 15 years? Because all of you all have at least a 15-year-old. At least a 15-year-old. All you have at least a 15-year-old. And I have a 1-year-old. So how old is Maya?
12.
Well, close enough.
I'll be 15 October 1st.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Langston will be 17 in December.
See, I was right on it.
I have a 16-year-old and a 22-year-old.
At Jackson State University. Thanks. All right, so at the Jackson State University. So, can anybody educate me on this? Because I'm trying to learn some things here. How has parenting changed within the last 10 or 15 years, or has it changed in the last 10 or 15 years?
I don't know what to tell you because I ain't had to deal with none. Now, I did change some diapers. Tracy and I changed some diapers once.
You changed some diapers. I just
We were forced to change some diapers. I'm not going to even tell the story, but let's just say that the room had an overwhelming aroma that forced us to change diapers. And I had done it in about 12 years at that time. And I was like, you know what? Somebody got to do this. And I was the man. I don't know. I don't think it's any different. What do y'all think?
I mean, you know, man, how has parenting changed? You know, I can only give you my perspective from my one-way journey because, you know, I'm not raising the kids for a second time, so I can't compare how it is for me raising, you know, kids. But I think that the kids today have a lot more challenges than we did when we were coming up. You know, they have a lot of sexual challenges that they have to deal with in the school system. You know, with the LGBT thing going on now, and you know, I can just remember back when I was growing up, it was much of a taboo. Opposed to now, it's just open. So those type of conversations you have to have with your kids. I didn't have that talk when I was growing up. You got social media out there, you know, that's taking a lot of their attention and focus away from school and things that can nurture them and develop their minds. It's a lot of trash out there, so you got to deal with that, and then you got to deal with, you know, just plain old laziness. I think that, you know, as the world grows and evolves, technology has just made us so lazy that, you know, it's kind of hard to teach these young kids what real work ethic and putting in the hours and the time, you know, to actually develop themselves and to grow. So I think those are some of the bigger challenges that me personally I face.
I think the main thing that I had to change was, you know, just kind of, I have two daughters, and just teaching them or just trying to explain different things to them and communicate with them was always, for me, it was like always old school. You know, you just do what I say, don't worry about it. So at a certain point, I had to kind of learn how to communicate with them. So I had to start realize that they more comfortable text messaging some things. So I had to, you know, kind of curve my approach and go ahead and, you know, text message every now and then. But if it's certain questions that are difficult questions, you're gonna have to pick up the phone. Sometimes I'm just have to text, hey, pick up the phone and call. You know, this isn't a question for text messaging. So, you know, I just had to kind of learn to be a little bit more lenient as far as the way that this younger generation actually communicates and get away from my old school mentality, because that just moves them further and further away. So I had to kind of evolve a little bit.
Those are great answers. John, you have a response, some rebuttal, sir?
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of debating if I should. Never mind.
I'm just scared to put it out there, man.
Here's the funny thing.
Off the record. Like, okay.
Off the record?
Look, so, all right, so, I mean, well, it's natural. So
We're all family.
So, look, it's like this. Even the rules have changed. And I say the rules with, like, the school systems. I recently had a challenge of my own. As y'all know, I have a daughter. She's 12. I had to go and speak to the school about letting her go use the bathroom. You know, just because, you know, things are so different now. They're so afraid of kids bringing guns to school, bringing knives to school, that they have them locked down to where they can't even go take care of their own business while they're changing classes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So I've been enlightened. So here's why I asked those questions. That question, sir. So me being a brand new parent and also working as a teacher in the school system, I've seen so many different things. You know, when I was teaching, you know, you have so many different children coming from so many different backgrounds. You know, you got all kinds of challenges that they face as children. So I used to only see the the child's end of it. You know, they will come to school telling us or expressing things that they were expressing what they would be going through at home. So I would only get the child's end. You know, when the parent would come up, you know, it's like, okay, the parent, they're coming up trying to rectify whatever's going on. So you may not get the full story, or you may not get exactly what's going on, because, you know, a lot of times the parents may come up and they wouldn't want to share everything that is happening. So you guys, my friends, so I wanted to kind of hear that from a parent perspective, as now I'm a parent as well. So I just wanted to hear that, because all of you guys have gone through the whole baby and elementary stage. So you all in you like the social media. That's I think that's like a big challenge. You know,
it is.
Tracy, what Tracy?
No, I have to share, and I'm pretty sure my daughter will be mortified that I told the story. But I have to tell you.
Please tell us. We got about 10 more minutes.
But needless to say, at one point, one of my daughters, I won't say which, but basically she used some colorful language on social media. So at one point, I'm just like, I was like, you know, you can't just, you know, be out here just, you know, talking like this and everything like that. So, you know, it stopped for a little while, came back, like, okay, I need to do something about it. So eventually coordinated something where she came over to the house and everything, and she walked in all happy. Oh, hey, grandma, granddad, auntie, cousin, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, this is the intervention.
I knew you were going to say that.
I was like, this is the intervention. I printed out everything. I printed out everything that you said. I was like, here, read it to your grandmama.
You are terrible.
Hey,
you
ask me, did it ever happen again?
Did it ever happen again?
It never happened again.
Oh my
because
gosh.
after she got off of her punishment, she had to, everybody from here to California had to be her Facebook friend.
Oh
So everybody,
She got another page though. That's what you know.
It is.
Hey, at least I don't know about it. At least I don't know about
It's a
it.
picture of Pat.
Right, she taking notes from L back.
Well, that means she wouldn't be on long.
That's funny.
Yeah, man.
So basically, Tracy. So seriously, you had to figure out the best way to solve this problem that we had going on.
Well, it's just the fact that this younger generation really doesn't know how to communicate, and you know, it's one of those things when you have a face to face with people, it's a totally different ball game. Everybody's kind of they get pushed off their square. So in other words, you know, a lot of them can't really cope with people face to face. Oh, everybody has keyboard courage. You know, when you're when you're behind your phone or behind your computer. But when it's time for you to have to face the music in front of somebody, it changes the game. So exactly.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, sir. So we're gonna jump right on into our last and final topic. We got about 5 minutes to touch on this. Mike, go ahead.
Well, Miss Jazzy Cognac Fuwali, and if I said that wrong, Miss Jazzy, please charge it to my head, not to my heart. And we talked about this down in the lobby. We did want to discuss the situation that's going on right now with one of the, I know most of, not just our generation, but, you know, our parents, definitely Mr. Bill Cosby. And today he was sentenced to 3 to 10 years. 81 years old. And it's a difficult discussion because, you know, obviously he's been an icon. He's been, you know, we've looked up to him and had so many fond memories watching the Cosby Show. If you were in the older generation, you probably watched some of the movies or whatever. What's the movie? Uptown Saturday Night or something like that. Whatever those movies were that he was in back in the day. But now Fat Albert. Thank you. Yeah, Fat Albert. So now we're looking at this man, and we aren't going to dismiss the charges. We're not saying that the charges should not be dealt with. And we talked about this in the lobby. My concern is the consistency of what happens with bill versus what's happening with other people. And, you know, if it's going to be done one way over here, it needs to be across the board. And I think that's the biggest issue. Jared had brought up a situation down in Texas, I think, where a physician had...
he had sedated one of his clients and had sex with her while she was sedated.
Right.
He got off with 10 years probation, no prison time.
No prison time. And so I think this is I think that this is the big issue. Nobody is arguing the fact that if you do something that is illegal, that you should be held accountable for that. But the consistency part, or at least for me, Terrell, at least for me. I don't know if you want to jump in.
No. I agree. You should be held accountable. Everybody should be held accountable for their actions at the end of the day.
Right.
Everybody, you know, whatever it is that you do. So I agree with what you're saying. You know, make it the same for everybody across the board.
Right. TD?
No, I completely agree. You know, think about the Harvey Weinstein, Matt Lauer, everything that goes on. Yeah, you definitely want it to be an even playing field, and it's just kind of sad that it isn't. You know, and it has to actually end up like this. So that's just where I am on that.
I thought it should have got a life sentence with no Biden.
See, we got jokes. We got jokes. That's jokes, yeah. That's probably for you for the TaKeOver, Castleblack construction.
These jokes are broken hard by.
You can sneak them inside of the Jello pudding.
Right, like the Sandman gonna come out here in bed.
All right, peoples. So that's about our time right there. Gabe said he's ready to go. Just kidding. That's about our time. Once again, you're listening to the TaKeOver podcast. Major shout out to the 88.5 podcast. Major shout out to Castleblack Construction. Check those guys out at www.castleblack.inc.com. Also check out their Facebook page. It's Castleblack Construction, correct?
Correct.
If you're not following us, please go to the TaKeOver. Right now we have a picture of the flyers, the Halloween flyers, a picture of, it just says the TaKeOver Halloween edition with some nice, cool-looking pumpkins.
Hey, excuse me, who are one of the sponsors of our TaKeOver Halloween party on October 27th from 7 p.m. until?
One of the sponsors, they're sitting here now. And another sponsor will be Mr. John Corns with John Corns Affiliate. John Corns
Affiliate Brokers.
Affiliate Brokers, right? Yes, that is.
Yeah. John is on here right now. So if we said that wrong, get us straight real quick. But yeah, so on October 27th.
October 27th.
Right.
Be ready. You might as well go ahead and get your costumes now. If you're just now getting them, you're probably too late, because that's one place that everybody goes all out for costumes. Shout out to John Best. Shout out to DJ Suave, Wally Brown Photography, the Side Street family for letting us hold the event there and everything. But it just gets bigger and better every year. We're going to have contests. We're going to have a bunch of surprises for you this year. So definitely stay tuned for that one. And look forward, when you come out, definitely meet. If you have any questions for our sponsors, they will be there in full dress, and we'll get it started.
And they'll be set up. I'm hoping that they're gonna be set up with the table and kind of like we were set up at
right.
So please stop by and holler at them. If you're getting some renovations or some. I was trying to get my parents to get y'all to build their house, but after the storm.
Yeah.
But it's all about relationship, and they knew the guys down there, so and they did a wonderful job.
Yeah, man, I was about to ask.
Yeah.
How did it turn out?
Wonderful job, wonderful.
Good.
So, but right here in the city, we got some folks. And hold on now, how old are y'all?
39.
Look here, I'll be 50 in January. These young brothers right here are doing it. You know what I'm saying? And so these are some folks that we know, or we at least got a connection to. Real simple. Saw you on the TaKeOver podcast. I saw you at Coming to America. Well, excuse me, at School Days. I saw you at, so like an easy connection, a great way to get some work done by a great group of young men that's doing the stuff right here in the city. Under 40.
Yep. And we as the TaKeOver always want to make sure that you actually take advantage of everybody that we bring to the forefront, because the mission of the TaKeOver in the first place was actually to connect our clientele with different businesses around the city, because we do want to support local business, especially our positive Black community.
Exactly.
So definitely give them all the support in the world, because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And if there's anybody that might have a job or a bid that might need to come up, you should definitely refer it to them, because we definitely stand behind them.
Real quick, a good friend of mine reached out to me, and I gave them the number. And
so it's called me a couple of months back, said, hey man, one of my friends just called me. He's looking for a contractor to do a project. I don't know what it is, but jump on the phone, call him really quick. So I jumped on the phone, called him, went over there and visited with him. He put me in contact with the person that was in charge of the facility that he's at. So just by that word of mouth, we just started another project.
There we go.
Guys, it's all about relationships and connecting and staying focused on your goals.
Exactly. Look at that. And I think that's it. Right there.
That is a wrap.
What you didn't mention, Terrell, and I want to verify this, Cynthia.
Oh, as far as our special guest judge for the TaKeOver Halloween.
Go ahead.
Hold on, I'm looking at you because I don't want to put it out there and then you like, man.
Well, let's just say we'll have a special guest.
So we're gonna have a special guest judge at the TaKeOver Halloween edition 2018. You do not want to miss it.
And I said her first name.
Right.
Cynthia. Oops.
And Gabe will not be there.
Hey, look, y'all. We had fun today. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Please, if you're not linked in with the TaKeOver, please do that. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. I think you got Snapchat. All of those, Twitter. All of those different mediums. But the best way to connect with us is when you see us, say hello. I promise you, you will not be upset by that, because we gon' even in person. If you like us on social media, you're gonna love us in person.
And that is correct. Is that it, guys?
I think that's it.
All right, y'all. We appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Castleblack.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Until next time, this has been the TaKeOver podcast.
Find us on iTunes and SoundCloud.
And that's a wrap.
Good job, gentlemen.
Appreciate it, man. Hey,
Gabe,
good job,
took
Gabe.
over the podcast on my behalf.
Thank you, John.